Hello! Didn't see you there, except I did, because this is pre-recorded footage. Here, we're back with Jurassic Park Trespasser on my 1.was save file, picking up right where we left off in the last episode. Just like in the last episode, joining us is Camera Boy. So here's the wall we
Yep.
jumped over with the pylon there, floating, of
Yes.
course, because it's loading a super low poly version of the last level.
Okay.
It's trying to jump
So-
around.
In the seamless transition, that was the last mission to this one.
Yeah.
Are there any more mission transitions like that, where it's just you
That is-
jump over
Shots.
something and then you get hit by a loading screen?
That is almost every single level transition.
Okay.
So here we and you don't get to carry items through the level transitions either. They're totally self-contained.
Okay.
So I wanted to show off the raptors again because I think they move amazingly. And I like how they kind of, react to getting shot in the face. He's booking it. He's out of there.
Yeah, no, 50 AE to the snout would not feel good.
Why do you think he's running away?
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
5.
Can you just kill it without, there you go. And then throw the weapon.
Oh, of course.
Because we all practice gun safety here.
Well, it was empty, I think. It only had like 2 rounds in it, if anything.
Is that nuclear waste?
They're just oil barrels,
Okay.
I think.
You see, I was hoping...
Okay, so in this game there are red barrels. Now, what do you think they do? Since this is a first-person shooter,
I'm gonna say that this is pretty much before almost everything else that it's not going to explode.
An
Well,
idea brought me awake one morning in New York. I almost didn't write it down.
we're gonna wait for John Hammond. Okay, I think he's done. Duke Nukem 3D had exploding barrels before this, but this game they do not explode for
What?
some reason.
If a mosquito sucked the blood of a dinosaur 100 million years ago, the insect is then covered in tree sap, which, over the millennia, becomes amber.
Now, the inherent problem with what John Hamm is describing,
Was that it? Was
Oh.
that a Stegosaurus?
maybe it was, Ryan. Maybe it was.
So you're just gonna run by the Stegosaurus without even looking at, the majestic dinosaur that it is?
No, I go back and see the Stegosaurus.
The
Get used to the
insect
sound.
is preserved perfectly. But you see, and here's the clever part, wouldn't the dinosaur blood be preserved as well?
The dinosaur DNA would decay, of course. Over time, DNA decays after a few million years, much less 65. So yeah, this is Stegosaurus. We edited him into the last video when we mentioned him. He predates Brachiosaurus, as mentioned in the last video. I think he actually looks pretty good for a Stegosaurus,
Yeah.
except
he's
for
a
that
bit-
plate.
Yeah, he's a bit squared, but other than that, it's a pretty good
Well,
Stego.
Considering that this came out a year before Half-Life did, I think he looks really
Yeah.
good. Also, notice how big these environments are. Half-Life had
This is
almost
true.
everything happen underground or in a building or in very small open areas, but this game has massive levels. I'm sort of jumping around this area, more exploring than anything else. Yeah, and jumping is going to be, or the sound of and jumping is going to be a staple here.
Okay. Now, I think they mentioned it in the books, at least, as a little side thing.
The blood
Um,
holds DNA. a tiny spiral of genetic code. Abracadabra.
Okay. Anyways,
Abracadabra.
so are the plants that they put on the islands, are they found from the fossils as
Sunlight
well, or are they
angled
just
down through the dusty
hunters?
air in Norman's office,
That
and
is-
I leaned against a solid oak table as I outlined my plans for international genetic technologies.
Now, I don't know if I go back and do it, but we did just skip a puzzle there. But that is an interesting
It was
question,
the flowering
Ryan.
of an ambition born 50 years ago. 50 years' struggle come to this.
Anyways, as you were saying.
There's a mix,
Indian
depending on...
standard safari vehicle.
Wow.
State of the art.
Very rude.
The hunters scattered, their prearranged hunting routes forgotten. Only a third of their number appeared at the rendezvous.
Okay, I think we should have some time as I tried to push this Jeep over a cliff. In the movie, they do offhandedly mention that there's extinct plants, but in the books, they do not use extinct plants. It is modern species of plants on the island that are best chosen to fit in. Now, we're going to be getting a new weapon soon. Not the Desert Eagle I'm about to
8
pick
shots.
Mhm.
6.
up. He just lays right down. You can see... I actually think this is a really good raptor model, personally.
Yeah. It's more of that older styled raptor.
Like, I
Um,
don't like the way the raptors look in the second movie, but I really like the way they represent the second movie design in the game.
That, yeah. I could agree.
So,
with that.
you can't fit through this gap here, and you're not
Why does
supposed
it
to be
say-
able to phase your arm through the board, but you can't pull the board
6
off.
rounds.
The main way you get boards off
5.
is shooting them.
7 shots.
And this is one of the hardest weapons to aim in the game. You notice how Anne's holding it?
Why?
Oh, yes, by the way, this is Anne's noodle arm. Everyone say hello. I didn't show this off before.
7 shots.
I don't know why.
Also,
But she holds it with her wrist, so you can't actually use the sights on this weapon. I think it's a Mossberg 590 pump, though.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Something like that, at least.
Terrible. For firing the same cartridge as the Sposs, it's a million times worse. Just because of the way the sights are, you can't hit anything that isn't right up in your face.
Interesting.
Are you ready for another new dinosaur, Ryan?
I am indeed ready for another new dinosaur. Also, did you mention it said fragile on the inside of the box where you picked up the Mossberg from?
Yeah, I think that's because they used some of the crate texture for the wood of that shed. Look, we've got an Ann stuck on a clip.
Ow.
Let me get my shotgun here.
7 shots.
And we're going to meet the Triceratops. One of the most majestic animals of the island, really.
Are they programmed to fight each other like that?
Yes, they're trying to fight him, but they're not quite programmed to bounce around like that.
Why do its legs go up into its body?
I don't know why. Triceratops can also kill the player.
Okay.
Look at how tiny the
5
horns
rounds
are,
left.
though.
Yeah.
Like, the horns should be much bigger. I sort of pet him, and he tramples me ever so slightly. And the head is too cone-shaped. I don't know if we'll ever see the face again, but it's... The frill should flare. Oh, he's... And he makes crocodile noises. That sort of exhale, I think that's a bull croc.
Hmm.
And you can see through his face. I don't know why, but the Triceratopses love to stick to the ground in this game. I think there's only 2 of them in the game, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But they move so weird. They're actually going to go away from where we're supposed to go. Up to this little red building that is totally on a side path. And we're going to get... I mentioned the hunting rifle was one of the best weapons in the game because of its sights. We're going to get probably one of the few weapons that is better.
5 shots. 4.
Right in the mouth. Pow! Right in the kisser.
That is one way to take down a raptor.
Just jam your 12 gauge barrel in his mouth. So this is like a little bungalow that was built. Now, I'm gonna poke a lot of things with my arm. That's because I couldn't remember where the secret panel was. And even when I found it, I couldn't remember how to open it. So we didn't get to work a calico auto pistol.
Calico auto pistol. Okay.
Which, if you know anything about, are terrible.
Yeah.
So we're sort of just... I was looking around to examine the area. I like this peach-colored mansion.
Quick question, though. Do they mention
Yes.
anything about the numbers of Triceratops living on either of the islands? Because I know in the movie they had that one sick one. I believe in the book they mention one. But
In the book, it's a 6 Stegosaurus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Now,
Okay.
now, this bookshelf right here has a secret panel on it. I managed to grab a hold of it and stretch my arm 15 feet. But I couldn't for the life of me remember how to open it.
4 shots. 2.
You can see it move a bit when I shoot it. Thought that button might have done it. It did not. Instead of leaving with a Calico auto pistol, we'll just leave with an M14. So, much better weapon.
Yeah.
Much. His Anne just sort of walks around and pokes everything in this house. We've got some maps
Nice.
that Anne pulls off the walls. No, I also forgot to mention in that first episode, the heart tattoo on Anne's chest is a health bar. It fills in with red the more damage you take. I hardly ever look at it in gameplay because it's useless once you're aware of how much damage you can and can't take, and it regens fairly quickly.
Okay.
So yeah, when people say that Call of Duty started health regen in games, you can tell them no.
About
Trespasser
20.
didn't do it either, but yeah, so this is the M14. It's got sights just about the same as the hunting rifle, but it's got 20 rounds of ammunition instead of 10 like the hunting rifle, and does only slightly less damage. It also looks pretty good.
Yeah. And that is one weapon I would expect, like a large hunting party to carry.
Got high rate of fire, decent magazine capacity, large caliber.
Yeah. Is this the
Comparative.
automatic version, or is this a semi-automatic version?
Semi-automatic.
Okay.
We won't be seeing automatic weapons until later in the level, but I don't know if I use them.
Okay.
You could see for sort of a... You could
Yeah,
see
that
for a
would be
second there that, yeah, some red. And now I can't remember how I got in. And I'm looking for the way out. Oh no, I remember I tried this secret
Looks like 20.
door again. I wanted that stupid Calico auto pistol so bad. There will be one later in a different level that we'll show off instead.
Okay.
If you're playing this game, just come here for the Calico pistol. Don't come for the... Or come here for the MP, or the M14. Don't come for the Calico. It's useless in the game and real life. They sort of looked at these ribs. It's like a theropod pubis right there.
Yeah.
But that's a big rib cage for a theropod, and that looks like a humerus to me.
Yeah.
But that's a big humerus for a theropod. It's got like sauropod limb bones and ribs from a sauropod, but then a very definite theropod hip bone.
Okay.
So sort of a mishmash of skeletons. We'll see those bones crop up, I believe, a bit later in this level. That could be next level, though. They all kind of blur together in my brain.
Gotcha.
I probably have close to 200 hours in this game.
That is a lot of time.
Yeah. I've got a beautiful natural waterfall on our right that I don't think I looked at enough. We might have to come back for an episode 2.5 and figure out how to open that secret door for one.
Yeah.
Instead of throwing rocks like a caveman,
Just gonna shoot at it.
we're just gonna shoot it. This is
Because
America,
shooting
right?
something. Because shooting something has, enough force to knock it down. Something like a box.
Yeah.
It's presumably pretty heavy.
Looks like
Wood.
20.
Yeah.
To technically throw something like that on the ground, you'd need to, the rifle would throw you down on the
Yeah.
ground. Just equal amount of force. And, especially the way that, Anne is
holding it.
that weapon. Yeah, that would probably be a
Two
broken
shots.
river, too.
1. Empty.
If anything, I was just... So here we have a Ruger Red Hawk revolver that I think I waste
3,
completely
2,
panicking here.
1. That's it.
I did hit him!
You did.
But, yeah, the Ruger Red Hawk,
Looks
They're-
like 7.
not as useful as the Deagles. Just because they have less ammo than the Deagle and they do about the same damage. Oh, I'm sorry for some viewers who get upset with abbreviations. Desert Eagle.
About
If
20.
anything, I should at least edit in an eagle sound whenever we say that.
Yeah. Maybe an American flag carrier there.
Oh gosh! It
Oh, and you just
scared
got
me when
bitten
I
by a
was.
raptor.
It scared me when I was recording this, and it scared me again just now because I had forgotten that this raptor spawns behind one of those pillars.
Why does it sound like a cat?
The raptors?
Yeah, meows, dude. At least I
think
thought I
you're
heard it
thinking
meow.
of the. I think you're thinking of like
Back-
the wildlife noises.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay, I can hear it now. I think it was just
Yeah,
because you were talking at the
raptors-
same time as I heard it. Might have just
No,
confused
yeah,
it.
the raptor sound in this is actually lifted directly from the movies.
Okay.
So I think it's a dolphin and a few other things then.
Alright.
I don't remember all the animals that got mixed together.
13.
Just sort
I
of
mean,
showing off how useful the sights on this rifle are.
What was
And there's
it?
a
Was that
silenced MP5 up there.
Okay.
But it's stuck up there, it's not coming down.
10. 9. 8. 7.
I've just waste ammo, because you really don't need to conserve it right here.
Yeah.
7 shots.
How fast can you
7
fire the
shots.
weapons in this game? Does it have
Looks
like a
like 7.
cap? Like most modern shooters, or...
Orchids.
So I missed another weapon in that box on to our left. There was a
A lost world is a sort of scientific myth, an evolutionary scenario in which an ecosystem is isolated and preserved. The rest of the world changes, leaving a tiny, fragile pocket where ancient species survive.
Yada, yada, yada.
See, look at how far a shot I just made on him.
4.
So, what you said John Hammond speaking is and remembering stuff.
She's remembering his memoirs that she read.
But she's talking as if she was hearing them, as if he was in the room?
She listened to an audiobook, let's say that.
Okay.
She got it on tape. I missed an auto Glock back there. But coming up is one of the at least funniest weapons in the game, which is the tranquilizer pistol. There's also a 50 caliber up here that we're gonna be seeing soon.
Are we talking like a Barrett or
A mounted Barrett 50 caliber,
Empty.
like in Modern Warfare 2.
Lindstrap
rounds.
guns, by the way,
Gotcha.
Swedish-made, unbeatable for accuracy and rate of fire.
And to show it
In the
off.
winter, we began building the supports for the elevated transit system that would unify the island. Concrete
This is a
towers
tranquilizer
rose
pistol,
through
by the
the
way.
jungle canopy.
This is what a tranquilizer pistol does, Ryan. It just makes things. I think I shove them. Oh no. So, imagine the noodle arm controls on a mounted gun, Ryan.
10 shots.
Oh no.
It's about as useful as you think.
6. 5.
I feel bad if you
4.
can. I sort of rolled.
Okay,
him
yeah,
over.
just desecrate the corpse even more.
Dude, no, it is hilarious. If you can trank him and then shoot him in the head, he will spin around and do a 180.
Okay.
1 shot left.
Oh, okay. So that thing does have an ammo cap. I thought you were just, when you were spamming it, that it was unlimited or something.
No, I like to trank raptors more than once because they stay tranquilized longer. So here we have our third Brachiosaurus we've seen in the game. This will be the last one that we see, if I remember correctly. And I shot him in the belly with a trank.
Does he get mad?
I've heard stories on the forums of people getting killed by Brachies. I've never had it happen, and I've never actually seen it happen. I've just heard about it from people. So, tentatively, we can say no.
Okay.
Kind of freaked out there on the pylon. Oh gosh. This is like the first time I've ever had problems jumping up onto this pylon.
Of course, it's, you know, when you go to record it.
Oh yeah, it's when I... Dude, you should have seen my first attempt at recording some of these levels. They go terribly sometimes. I was glad I got to have that Triceratops freaking out.
Carrying up out of the
Successful
southern basin,
recording,
the
though.
Atherton Causeway would bring visiting scientists north from the southern beach.
And failed parkour.
Yeah.
Wow. They certainly were serious about their monorail.
Oh, Anne. Good to know you didn't lose your sense of humor when you possibly lost your left arm in that plane crash, because we never see her left arm in this game.
You also did mention that she doesn't have a head, so...
Yeah, it's not modeled or anything. So we're coming up on the end of the level here. We're going to be getting another hunting rifle soon, I believe. Oh, no, I just jumped right past it. Oh, no, here we go.
Around 10. 9, 8,
Yeah, that's the sound a raptor makes, Ryan.
7.
Indeed.
And I hit the ground so hard I dropped my gun.
Looks like 7.
Yeah, I like how she can tell the
6.
ammo count by looking at it. But she has never fired a weapon
Yeah, she's just holding
prior
it.
to
It's
the
just-
5,
crash.
4.
Dude, this is why the hunting rifle is great. You can line up shots way farther than you can with
3.
most other weapons.
Mhm.
I mean, you can do these
2.
kind of shots with your other weapons, but they're just way more difficult. And this bugger just walks right off a cliff.
Oh,
Like, that, the terrain there is too steep for him to get up.
okay, he's still fine.
1.
I thought it was like a steeper cliff. I'd be,
That's it.
worried.
Oh no, wait until the second to final level, Ryan.
Oh no.
You're going up switchbacks on the mountain in the middle of the
8
island.
shots.
That
And
was the
it's-
noise I heard before and confused with the raptor. That was
Yeah.
the parrot in the background. Okay. Anyways, go on.
It is lots of fun on the switchbacks to get the raptors to fling themselves off of it. They don't die because they're not programmed to take fall damage like you are. But
7.
Okay. Wait, so your character does take fall damage in this, correct?
yes,
Okay.
I think I might take some up here. I've died enough times by screwing up this jump, so I I made sure to save
Got it.
and jettison my
the,
gun into orbit, of course.
There you go.
Because yeah, it's you're not supposed to jump up that ramp after it's fallen down, but if you keep your speed, you can totally do it in one go, and it's like 5 seconds faster.
Hmm.
Oh, and you were asking about the level transitions, Ryan?
Yeah, that,
There we go. So this ends our second episode of Jurassic Park Trespasser.
alright.
So, any thoughts on level 2 of Jurassic Park Trespasser, Ryan?
It was a lot less cluttered than the first mission. Because the first
Yeah,
mission,
the-
it just had hunks of concrete laying around.
Yeah, the
Okay.
first level was very much tutorial.
Hmm. There was a
I
lot
think
less
I-
puzzles, also, than in
Yeah.
the,
Well, to
first
be fair, I also skipped over one of them.
Yeah, that is true. Um, hmm. Very interesting game for when it was created, and I know we are saying that a lot, but
Yeah,
that is
1998.
that is a very good accomplishment.
Yeah,
what
I
the game
think
is.
it's very important. Sort of the it's very important to preface the game with its history.
Are there any games that are directly like inspired by Trespasser?
The Half-Life and Half-Life 2 dev teams note in interviews that they took a lot from Trespasser.
Okay.
And Crysis's dev team also says that they looked at Trespasser for a lot of their stuff.
Okay.
In Crysis,
Some
sort of
pretty
the
notable.
ability to pick up and throw objects. It's commonly thought that you can do that in the first Crysis, partially because they were like, how did Trespasser show off its physics engine? Oh, they let you pick up and throw almost everything? Okay, we'll do that too.
Okay. So some pretty notable games or dev teams of pretty notable
I would-
games, I should say.
I would say that Jurassic Park Trespasser is to first-person shooters what, like, the really boring-looking common ancestor of most theropods is.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, it doesn't have that many special features when we look at it now, but, like, for it, or like Coelophysis, like, Coelophysis is pretty boring compared to Tyrannosaurus rex, Allosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus, but you have to think it was the platform that all of those sprouted from.
It's the vanilla ice cream, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Trespasser was having big skyboxes, that was a new thing in games.
Yeah, because you did mention that most other games at the time were kind of like roofed in, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of like tunnel underground.
Yeah, that was
sort of thing.
I don't even think Quake had as ambitious of environments. I know a lot of games on the build engine had big environments like that, but build engine games aren't real 3D. They're 2.5D that pretends to be 3D. But there are tons of videos the viewer can watch on that. So that'll be bringing us to an end of Jurassic Park Trespasser, Episode 2. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And stick around. We should be uploading more videos soon. Crap, now I gotta leave Craig.
Bye, Craig.
Bye. Yeah, that was